To the country, I would like to say first and foremost, I am sorry. I have given this job my all, but you have sent a clear signal that the government of the United Kingdom must change, and yours is the only judgment that matters.
If you voted Labour yesterday, we will carry the responsibility of your trust as we rebuild our country. But whether you voted Labour or not, in fact, especially if you did not, I say to you directly, my government will serve you.
Well, the lesson is that people are appalled when they see the pictures of the destruction of Gaza.
So now we have a new government headed by Keir Starmer, whether you like it or not, but Keir Starmer is a new Prime Minister. Now it remains to be seen, only time will tell whether the guy stands for humanity or he continues to behave in a disgusting manner that he did 9 months ago. It all started with his infamous interview on LBC. Now, since then, I understand Labour's stance has changed, but it remains to be seen whether the government, the new government under Keir Starmer, will take a firm position in favor of humanity. Because what worries me is the fact that you have West treating, whose famous video, when he was asked about the ceasefire, he said, go and ask Hamas in a very disdainful manner.
Why can't we have a ceasefire now?
Well, persuade Hamas. Thank you.
David Lammy, I know his position has changed significantly, but it remains to be seen whether in his capacity as a foreign secretary, he plays a key role or whether he continues to be just a poodle, an Israeli poodle in the British government. That time will tell, and we will be keeping an eye on their performance. But nonetheless, the new cabinet is out, and it's time to reflect briefly on what happened. Although all the opinion polls have suggested that Nigel Farage is going to sweep elections, at least he's going to win more than a dozen seats. That hasn't happened. So for the first time, he is now an MP. In his 8th attempt, I suppose, George Galloway, he failed to win a single seat for his party. So much so that he could not even get himself re-elected from Rochdale, which gave him a decisive mandate in February this year. That has been a major development. And I think it's also a time for George Galloway and his party to reflect on as to where they faltered. I think George Galloway should have stuck to Rochdale, at least for these elections. And even if he wanted to field candidates across the country, he should have particularly focused on ensuring his re-election from Rochdale. That's where he made a mistake. The attention that his own constituency required, he failed to give that attention. You only have to look at the kind of effort that Jeremy Corbyn made in his constituency in Islington North. It's a great thing that Jeremy has got re-elected as an independent candidate, and his voice will matter a lot in the new parliament, because by dint of being the most experienced MP, he will get the status of the father of the house. Now, by being the father of the house means that you get preferences and privileges in terms of asking questions and embarrassing the government, and his voice alongside Dan Abbott's will mean a lot. We need these voices, when the genocide is being committed in Gaza. We need these powerful voices in the parliament. And the parliament would have benefited a lot by the presence of George Galloway, but unfortunately, he is not going to be there. That's a setback for anybody who wanted strong voices in the parliament. It seems to me that George Galloway took his February victory for granted, and he thought it was a done deal. And that's surprising, given the fact that he's such a seasoned politician. He could not have equated the by-poll victory to the main general election contest, because that's a different ball game altogether. In February, you didn't have a Labour candidate, proper Labour candidate. This time you had the Labour candidate and other main political parties throwing in all their weight behind their candidates. given the margin of defeat for George Galloway, I think he would have been well advised to stay in his constituency and pay more attention, because then had he managed to get himself re-elected, he would have had plenty of time and resources to work on spreading the wings for his party. He also needs to realize the kind of media platform that he appears on. I mean, I can understand why he should have been making an effort to appear on mainstream TV channels like ITV or the BBC or Sky News or Channel 4. But to go and make a big song and dance about appearing on Piers Morgan show, for God's sake. A Piers Morgan show? The guy spews hate? You would have thought that after the killing of 40,000 Palestinians, including 70% children and women and babies, he would have softened his stand for Palestinians, but he hasn't. He hasn't. And yet George Galloway was going there, contributing to the financial successes of Piers Morgan, and then promoting his interview. That was in a bad taste. I mean, even a person like me who supported him and who will continue to support him for his consistency in raising the voice for Palestinians, I was a bit disappointed. And also, during the whole election campaign, he appeared to be focusing more on promoting Nigel Farage than devising strategies to ensure that his own candidates win. You look at the social media, the amount of time he was retweeting or commenting social media post about Nigel Farage. So these are the learnings. I hope if he doesn't lose the steam and if he continues to stay relevant in British politics, I think these are the learnings that he has to employ in his future strategies. There's another development. So we talked about Jeremy Corbyn. Jeremy Corbyn got himself elected and we are very happy about it. He appeared on Channel 4. As you know, this time, not just Sky News or the BBC, even ITV and Channel 4 had their rolling news coverage on the election on the election night. On Channel 4, we had Emily Maitlis. Emily Maitlis is my former BBC colleague, but I think she's left the BBC. She's joined a new news platform, but for the election duty, I suppose she had joined hands with Channel 4, and she was one of the key presenters fronting the show on Channel 4. Now, you have to see, there is a video that's going viral. And that video is of interview that Emily Maitlis and her co-presenter, Krishnan Gurumurthy. So it's an interview of Krishnan Gurumurthy with Jeremy Corbyn immediately after the veteran politician's election victory. It's a 1.5 minutes long interview, and you have to see the facial expression of Emily Maitlis during the entire interview.
But I just want to finally ask you also about Labour's position on Israel-Gaza, which has been costly to the party tonight. Jonathan Ashworth has lost his seat. Other people are in trouble over it. What's the lesson?
Well, the lesson is that people are appalled when they see the pictures of the destruction of Gaza. 30,000 and more people have already died in Gaza, and we are complicit because we're supplying weapons to Israel which are used to bomb Gaza. There has to be a ceasefire. There has to be recognition of the state of Palestine. There has to be justice for the Palestinian people. And that is a message that resonates with millions in this country, be they Muslim, Jewish, Christian, or of no particular faith. And I think the incoming government needs to reflect that the people that have spoken out about Gaza are not going to go away, are not going to shut up. They're going to carry on speaking out until the killing ends and we see justice for the people of Palestine.
Should Keir Starmer recognise the Palestinian state?
He should recognise the Palestinian state, but the last statement I heard from him appeared to be having so many caveats in it. It's not clear when or how that recognition will come about.
Jeremy Corbyn, thank you very much.
Now, I do not want to comment as to why she made those faces, but then the eagle-eyed, social media users. She is not very popular because of her facial expression among those social media users. It's funny. It's really, really funny. I mean, if you are a TV presenter, you should have known that your facial expression can be caught. And in this case, people are concluding that she felt disgusted and she did not appear to be very pleased with the victory of Jeremy Corbyn. I don't know what is the truth, but that's exactly how her facial expression came across to the social media users. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so, because that's one of the many ways you can support independent journalism. God bless you all.